Now, I know United beat Liverpool yesterday, but I don't think we can make much of a glorified training session. And that's what preseason is to me. Just training, just warming up, just getting the reps in. Players coming back from breaks, players coming back overweight, and just getting themselves back into fitness. Now, we got a glimpse last night of Nunez for Liverpool, and I'm sure we'll get a glimpse over the coming weeks of Haaland at City. Now, being a United fan, I want United to do well, but the thing I want more than that sometimes I want City and Liverpool to do badly. And it's this toxic culture of being a fan where you aren't just satisfied with your own success. And of course, right now we don't have any success, so I tend to become more of a hater of the clubs having it. Now, I understand that clubs are allowed to sign players other than the club we support, but with what's happened with Greenwood, Cavani obviously being out of the picture, Martial, Ronaldo, we don't know what the situation is right now. The question for Manchester United about having a striker for this season is growing. By the looks of it, you've got Martial, Rashford, and maybe Cristiano Ronaldo to fill up those minutes and lead the line for us. Now, I'm not sure if this is a hot take, but there's no striker really left on the market that doesn't have a significant risk attached to them. Now, if you just look at Nunez and Haaland who've moved, even with them, I think there was a significant risk involved. You look at the injury record of both of them. Nunez had knee surgery just last year. You look at Haaland, he's a Dortmund player. They don't really take breaks, they just avoid surgery at all cost. And you look at those two and you think, yeah, they might be good and they might be the guys to lead you to a title eventually. But I don't think they're worth what they. I don't think at least Nunez is worth what it cost to bring him in. And so many of our players have left last season, so there's quite a few gaps, I'd say, in our club. And I said this last year as well. I didn't think we should break whatever we were planning with Ollie to get Ronaldo in. I fully, hand on heart, believe that this club's best chance at a title is in 4 to 5 years' time. In 4 to 5 years' time, you're looking at a Premier League which hopefully, for my sake, doesn't have Pep Guardiola. You're looking at a Premier League where Liverpool's core is aging out and they don't have the success at transfer recruitment in the future. And you're looking at a potential United side which is a few years in with Ten Hag. Now, I know with managers, nothing's guaranteed and it doesn't matter how long their contracts are, but that's the sort of vision I have. And I know in football culture, in this community, that line of thinking of championship windows and waiting for your time is frowned upon, but it's the reality of the moment. We are way too far behind to compete with City in this moment. We are way too far behind to go all in at this moment and say, yep, within the next 2, 3 years, let's sign some experienced guys. We need to do the exact opposite. We need to find guys that are here to stay for a while and be part of this, I'd like to say, fourth or fifth rebuild now after Ferguson left. I want to find a striker on the market if Ronaldo leaves, if Martial leaves, and even if both of them stay, you can still say the striker position, at least for the rotation spot, if Martial's not playing well, would be a problem. The club obviously would have to find a way to play Ronaldo on the wages he's on. You look at the inflation in the market at the moment, and I'm not talking lettuce prices, I'm talking strikers, 64 million plus 20 after 2 seasons at Benfica for Nunez. And City said they paid 55 million or whatever it was for Haaland, but it's tripled that in agent fees, and you know he's getting some money elsewhere. It's not my money, so I'm not too fussed if United splashes big on whatever striker there is left on the market. Realistically, if there's any chance we have of having a semi-functional squad for next season, I think we need to make a lot of compromises, and with all the players leaving, I don't think everyone gets replaced by a player coming in with a transfer. I think we have to wait maybe 1-2 years to fully rebuild the squad, and I think that's where you can wait with the striker position. I say all of that to say this. Like it or not, I think Anthony Martial has to play this season for United. When it comes to Anthony Martial, this is a player that I have to say I have not appreciated for the last 2 years. He had his best season ever for us, and since then, of course, after we finished third with Ollie, we have gotten this Anthony Martial, which is, I want to say unrecognizable, but it's the same flaws in his game from before. Just the lack of confidence over 90 minutes. As a creative player, as a number 9 who likes to get involved, he's a forward's forward. He likes to assist, he likes to get involved. If you are at any point having problems with your decision making, if you're indecisive, you can't be a Premier League player at any level. And you saw that, of course, with him being loaned out to Sevilla last season. These sort of things for elite footballers, where they don't stick to their instincts over 90 minutes, they can be so frustrating because everyone knows the ceiling of Anthony Martial, and everyone knows the reality of how far away he is from that. Every time Anthony Martial has added something to his game, whether that be close range finishing, whether that be maybe more aggressive, maybe being more aggressive in build up. Every time he's added something, you've noticed something else drop off. You've noticed maybe a lethargicism to help out on defense. You've noticed maybe a lethargicism in the box because he does like a box presence. You've noticed sometimes that when he's passing well, his shooting isn't on and he doesn't like to shoot, which is really not what you want ideally from a striker, but in this day and age when your wingers are the ones that are usually scoring more of the goals, I don't think it's as much of a problem. You look at Anthony Martial and this could be his 8th year in the Premier League. And for someone that's been here this long and essentially being the same player for the majority of it, it's not looking good. But for what United need, and that's if Ronaldo stays, we need a guy who plays 20 games off the bench and 30 games in total, I guess. And if Ronaldo does leave, we need a guy that maybe just fills that gap for a season as we look to offload him. It's very hard for United to sell a player, let alone a player on that much money with that little goals over the past couple of seasons. Now, this would be his last chance, and that's going to be a common theme you're going to see with a lot of United players over this season. This is a last chance. You saw even Ten Hag wanted to speak with Pereira before he left because every player at this club, maybe not Phil Jones, is getting a last chance. And this is all part of a reset. You're going to see Ten Hag make all the mistakes that other managers have made in the past and hopefully learn from them very quickly. Same thing happened with Rangnick. He had to sort of mesh out the team, and however poorly that went, let's just hope it goes better with Ten Hag. Now, it's kind of crazy that we've gotten back to a situation where the prophecy of 3-4 years ago, where it's Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial leading the line for United, is actually a pretty likely reality. And I don't think any of those 3 players are the same people or the people we thought they were back then. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Anyways, United's got a lot of players to sign, bring in, whatnot. And we're very bad at bringing players in. We're even worse at letting players go. If I'm bothered, I will record. If not, you can wait another 6 to 9 months. Anyways, thanks for listening, I guess. Let me know what you think. Probably going to stick around with this, going out to Melbourne tomorrow, so might actually have some fun for once in a while.